Welcome back to Life Full of Zest, and welcome to day 7 of your Pilates for Runners workout program. I'm sure it goes without saying, but your body is starting to really reap the benefits of your new consistent Pilates habit that you have just adopted. And to seal off and close our final series, we are going to have a lot of fun today. We're going to do a lot of balancing exercises as well as get into those deep activations as we always enjoy. Today we are going to be starting standing in the center of that mat. We are going to lengthen that spine, sucking in that belly, drawing those shoulders down that back. Let's inhale and exhale slowly, drawing that head, neck and chest towards that chin as you draw that chest down towards that mat. And I just want you to hold and hover here for a few moments, just allowing the body to stretch out, slight bend in that knee if you want to. Let's grab the opposite elbow with your hands. Deep breath in, exhale, opening that right side of your body as you draw your left elbow towards your left knee. Inhale, coming back to center, and then exhaling to draw that right elbow towards that right knee as you open that left side of your body. Coming back to center. Let's do one more of these on each side, opening that chest and slowly coming back to center and changing over towards the other side and coming back to center, extending your arms out in front of you. Just allow yourself to really just fall from the top of that body. Just let it hang and just let that body stretch out as you inhale and exhale. Deep breath in, exhale, rolling yourself all the way back up into standing position, opening up those shoulders, drawing those gaps down that back. We're going to lift that left leg off the mat and bringing arms into T position. We're going to inhale and exhale, slowly drop all the way down, keeping back straight, bending that knee to toe tap with that left hand, then lifting yourself back up into starting point. We're going to do 8 of these on each side, so really focus on that slow, controlled stability and movement. I want you to try not to brace with your toes. You want to relax those toes and work on the activation of that core and those glutes, making sure that knee doesn't fall out when you're working, trying to keep that back straight and chest open. You don't want to hunch forward as you lean down. So really important to focus on that posture and that control. And let's do 3 more all the way down, leading through that hill as you lift yourself back up. You should be feeling a nice burn in that stabilizing glute. And last one, all the way down and reaching all the way back up, coming up into that high knee. And now I want you to keep stabilizing. You should be getting a burn in that calf. I want you to extend that front leg, and we're just going to hold here, keeping core tight and holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly dropping that leg down and lifting that right knee off the mat. Deep breath in, exhale slowly, coming all the way down to toe tap with that right hand, leading through that heel and coming back into starting point. Keep working. Again, making sure that that knee doesn't fall out or in. You want to keep it stable, facing straight out in front of you, using your core to drop down first, then rotate and toe tap. Try to keep those arches, that arch of your left foot lifted, and again, not bracing. You will find that you may struggle a little bit more with one of your legs. It just means that your glutes on that side are slightly weaker, which means you got to work a little bit harder on maintaining that good activation. But if you have strong glutes and balanced in strength, you will find that you get injured a lot less. So it's very important to keep that integrity of the activation and really give that extra attention to quality of your movements and activation of those muscles. And let's do one more all the way down and rotating and slowly back up, lifting yourself into high knee, extending that leg and holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly dropping that leg down. We're just going to rotate to face the front of the mat. We're still standing in the center of that mat. We're going to lift that left leg off the mat, and we're slowly doing a backward toe tap all the way back up into high knee, and then a forward toe tap, keeping that core tight. Very small basic movements, but if you do them properly, you will find that you get quite tired. That's 3. We're doing 8 of these. Again, stabilizing with that knee, making sure that your back is straight. We're halfway. Keep going. And that's 6. We've got 2 more. And try to go as far forward as you can while maintaining that stability, and as far back as you can. And last one. And we're going to hold at that back part there, slowly pivoting onto that foot, leaning the front upper body forward and extending yourself into Superman hold. And from here, we're going to bend and bring our elbows back towards each other as we bend our left knee and extend. Again, trying to maintain that parallel position of your limbs to the ground. You can bend your stabilizing knee a little bit more. Keep going and extend. We've got 3 more. And 1. Using that core. And 2. And 3. Keeping in the Superman hold position. Slowly dropping your arms down and lifting that left leg up towards the sky. Just holding here. Slowly dropping that left leg down and lifting that right leg up into 3-legged downward dog. Dropping it down and just walking out those calves just to loosen up. We really have been working really hard on those stabilizing muscles of those calves. So let's just walk those legs out, pushing your head through your arms as you lift and draw that pelvis up towards the sky. And deep breath. And slowly now lifting that left leg into 3-legged downward dog and placing it just behind and in the center of your 2 hands, and slowly lifting that right leg off the mat as you keep both hands on the floor. And now slowly lowering that leg as you lift your arms up into a single leg standing Superman hold position. Coming from here, we are going to bend those elbows as we bend that knee and extend. Remember to keep those legs and arms parallel to the ground as you're looking straight out in front of you. Keeping core tight. And 4, squeezing those elbows. I don't want you to draw your elbows down. I want them to stay towards the side, and almost you're trying to bring them towards each other behind you. That will give a better activation of that scap. And 2. And 1. And extending, dropping that back leg behind you, stacking that vertebra, getting ready for our toe taps behind and in front of us. So slowly leaning into that front leg into a toe tap, and slowly bringing that knee up into a forward toe tap. Slow and controlled, stabilizing with that leg. Again, keeping that quality of that movement. Go as far as you can. And last one, as far forward as you can, and then as far back as you can. We're going to stay with this back leg behind you and dropping that back knee into a forward lunge position. We're just going to lean forward and dropping both elbows onto the mat and just rotating that left knee towards the wall next to you. We're just going to hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bringing hands onto the mat. We have that left foot next to that left hand, and we're going to lift that back knee, and we're going to go from here into jump switches. I'm going to lift that right foot next to that right hand and change. And you can either walk if you feel better, or you can jump. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and try go as fast as you feel comfortable while you're still maintaining good control. And one more on each side, then staying with that right foot in front of you, dropping that back knee and placing both elbows on the mat as you externally rotate that knee outwards towards the wall next to you. And keep holding here. Now placing your hands back on the mat, we're slowly going to lift that left leg next to that right hand, and we're coming into a deep squat position, drawing your elbows into those knees and opening those knees away from each other. So from here, we're going to open, then we're going to place hands on the mat, and then go straight into forward fold. Coming back down, opening those knees, and then lifting into forward fold. And just go as far as your body allows you to. Keep working. And let's do 2 more of these before we progress the movement. Very important to keep that flexibility and mobility while maintaining a good running habit. And staying down here, we are going to slowly lift ourselves up into a squat position. And I want your hands out in front of you or in a comfortable position. Just make sure your chest is open, and we're just going to do little pulsations for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now we're going to walk forwards and backwards as we're pulsing. So right foot, but keeping that position and distance between your feet shoulder width apart, and you're just walking backwards and forwards. And one more going in front of us. Keep going, keeping that activation. Now I want you leading with the other foot. If you're leading with your right, start leading with your left, and vice versa. Keep going. And last one, forward with the leading with your alternative foot. And slowly coming all the way back down into that deep squat, opening those knees away from each other. Now slowly dropping yourself into an all fours position, grabbing those ankles and lifting your hips up towards the sky. Just opening the front part of your body and feeling deep activation into those quads. Slowly reaching all the way down onto that mat and opening those knees away from each other. And just really focus on opening those hips. Coming back into all fours, extending right leg and left arm, and we are going to do elbow to knee crunch into extension, and then bringing that leg out wide back to starting point. Stabilization and strength here. That's 2. Keeping that ankle flexed. 3, and try and keep your ankle in line with that hip. We're doing 8 of these. We're halfway. 7, keeping core tight, and 8. Staying here. We're just going to pulse that right leg up and down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back into center, grabbing that ankle with your hand, opening that chest, just holding this pose, activating that right glute as you draw your knee up and lift your toes up towards the sky, looking straight down in front of you. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bringing that right leg out to the side, rotating that tailbone towards the wall behind you, and leaning all the way back into that back heel as you push that groin into the ground. Slowly leaning forward and coming all the way back into seated as you walk your hands towards that right ankle, and slowly coming back to center. Now leaning yourself forward and lifting that right leg back behind you, placing your elbows on the mat, and we're just going to do little pulsations for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to do circles towards the right for 8, 7, keeping core tight, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Another direction, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dropping that knee back to the mat, leaning into rest position, coming all the way back up into that all fours, lifting left leg, right arm, deep breath in, exhale, elbow to knee into extension, then bringing legs to the side and back. That's 1. Keeping core tight, keeping the integrity of that movement as you're working. Try and keep that ankle in line with your hips and bring it as far as you can towards that side. And let's do 3 more. And last one before we do our pulsations. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back to center, dropping that right hand, drawing that left leg out to the side and leaning your glutes into that heel as you rotate that body all the way. Now walking your hands towards that left ankle and opening that right side of your body, drawing both shoulders into the ground. Now slowly coming back to center, coming back into that all fours, dropping your elbows on the ground, lifting that back leg, flexing that ankle, going straight into pulsations. And keep going. Deep breaths, working hard on keeping that stability of that stabilizing leg and activation of that core. And now stopping to center into little circles for 8, 7, 6, 5. I'm really feeling my stabilizing glute work now while I'm also working that left leg. Let's change direction. Keep going and dropping that leg and leaning back into rest position. We're going to come back up, keeping elbows on the mat. We're just going to keep the knees together and pivot ourselves onto our left hand side, staying in that side plank position. Right arm is up towards the sky. We're going to lift that right leg off the mat and we're going to hip drop into extension, and that's 1 and 2 and 3, keeping hips forward, and 5. I'm going to keep that knee up, 6, 7 and 8, keeping that knee bent and just pulsating with that right leg for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly dropping down and just hugging that right knee towards that chest. Let's turn over onto our backs and feet fist distance apart and a foot and away from your glutes. We're slowly going to roll those hips up towards the ceiling as we activate that tummy, keeping that core tight, digging those heels into the ground, bringing arms out in front of you, palms facing each other, deep breath in, and we're opening those knees away from each other, then back to center, sucking in that pelvic floor. 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6, keeping core tight, 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. Knees back together into little pulsations, just emphasizing that glute activation, up and down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lifting right leg off the mat, extending it up towards the sky, and we are going to lower and lift for 8, making sure you're leading through that stabilizing leg and pointing your toes in the direction that you're going, working really hard to keep that stability. And 7 and 8, keeping that leg up, dropping that pelvis down towards the floor, placing your hands behind the back of your right knee, extending that left leg, and we're going to go straight into hamstring pulls. And 1 more on each side, and keeping that leg there. We're going to interlace our hands on the back of our head and keeping head, neck and chest off the floor, bending that right knee, pointing both toes. We're just going to rotate left elbow towards right knee for 10 and 9, keeping belly to spine, 8, 7, 6 and 5 and 4, 3 and 2 and 1, keeping head, neck and chest off the floor, looking straight out in front of you. We're just going to alternate bending and extending our legs. And let's do 1 more. We're going to end with our left leg bent. To change direction, deep breath in, exhale, rotate for 10, working hard, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Coming back to center and extending that left leg, placing your hands behind the back of your left knee and dropping that right foot on the mat as you lift your hips off the mat, palms facing each other at your ceiling, and you're just lifting and lowering that left leg. Remember to lead through that heel of your right leg, keeping your hip height. And let's keep going. And last one, and slowly dropping that leg into tabletop, then onto the mat, lifting those glutes, keeping core tight and drawing those knees away from each other. And as you're drawing them away from each other, opening your arms towards the mat. Again, making sure that when you open those knees away, that your hips do not drop. And let's do 2 more before we do our 10 pulsations. And coming back to center into little pulsations of those glute max muscles, lifting that pelvis for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly coming all the way back down, extending both legs, arms overhead, lifting yourself all the way up into seated, and now turning around to lie on that right hand side. You're in that side plank, lifting that left leg off the bottom knee and bring the other arm into T-point. So we're lifting up, hip drop into leg extension, and that's 1. Keep going. 3. Keep working. Hips tight, core tight, hips forward. Keep going. And last one, lifting up, bending that leg and pulsating for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly dropping that leg, dropping that hip, and hugging that left knee towards your chest. Slowly lifting yourself back up into seated, and I want you to bend that left foot behind you as you bend your right foot in front of you. And we're going to lift our arms up towards the sky as you reach forward and lean our chest towards that front knee. So this should just bring a little bit of a stretch into those quads and glutes. Slowly walking your hands towards the left corner of the room, and now slowly walking in to the right corner, and slowly coming back to center, lifting yourself up into seated so that you can change your legs around, lifting arms up towards the sky, reaching down towards the mat in front of you. Now slowly walking towards the opposite right corner, drawing the shoulders into the ground, and walking yourself towards the opposite left corner, drawing the shoulders into the ground, coming back to center, and slowly rolling yourself back up into seated. Thanks for joining me on that 7-day Pilates for Runners workout program. Let me know how it has benefited you and how you are feeling, how you managed with the exercises. And if you want to continue this journey with me, you can go to my website at lifefullofzest.com, or you can follow me on Instagram. I'm regularly uploading videos every week just like this one. I look forward to seeing you in that next video.